Om. Namaste everyone.
Vikshapada jananyah pitaro gurava kumarakashishya ekantaravana hetuho shantirdaita viraktasya. For the dispassionate one, whomsoever is giving food is his mother. Whomsoever is giving advice or teaching him is his guru. Whomsoever he is teaching are his sons and daughters. The person who was listening jumped up and asked, "Please tell me who is his wife." Then he replies, "Don't be in a hurry, I will tell that also." This person is always alone and he enjoys that Shanti or peace. So peace is his wife.
Knowing the self is the last pursuit. When we take our interest in knowing the self, interest for other knowings have to drop in our mind. Because we have only one mind, it can look for things, relative knowledge all the time, interested in it. Or it could be interested in knowing itself, the self. So dispassion is the most important thing. Without dispassion, we can't start this journey. On path of knowing the self, our interest should only be for the self all the time. Then it manifests in us. People keep complaining about thoughts, that I am having thoughts. Leave aside whatever thoughts there are, they are not a problem. Problem is our interest in these thoughts. If we have no interest, then these thoughts are just background noise. During these thoughts and between these thoughts, silence is unaffected. When our interest is in silence, we notice only silence. Distraction is always because of our interest. We all have come across people who, when study, play music in the background and they can focus more on their studies like this. Some people live on busy streets, close to busy streets, and they do all their stuff without any disturbance. But for a new person, it is a surprise how they live there. Keep your interest on the silence within. The biggest advantage is that thoughts which arise from I, they all disappear. Because I makes big extensions into all the types of interests we have, relations we have, stories of this I from the past, stories projected into the future. In silence, there is nothing except peace. Eternal peace. We have not created it. We are not interested in something which was superimposed on this peace. Our disinterest in it makes it go away. Sometimes we relocate and on the old address we still get mail. And after a while that mail stops coming there. You have changed your address, you have informed people. And even if that mail comes there, no one there to open it. It goes in bin. If there is no one to receive any thoughts, how long thoughts will keep coming? They need a receiver, ego. If you understand the construct within us, there is this self, Shiva, pure self, uninvolved self, only an observer in this body. This is never involved in any thought. Then there are thoughts, and there is a person who interacts, who suffers from these thoughts. If you take away thoughts, then there is no suffering, no panic attacks, anxiety, depression, PTSD, whatever it is. All suffering comes in form of thoughts. But who is the one who interacts with these thoughts? The one who interacts with these thoughts is also a thought. It is all illusory. Stay as this pure self, watching all the feelings, watching emotions, watching these thoughts, watching but not interested in them. Interest is only in the silence. So you can say not watching, but these things will come if they have to come. Some people say when I am practicing self-inquiry, I get silence, but then I get bored of this silence. So the one who gets bored of this silence is a thought. I am getting bored. I is there. As long as this I stays, there is no freedom because it pulls back us into the mind domain. I has to go. In self-inquiry, you question this I. Who am I? At intellectual level, people can get answer that I am this body, or I am this mind, or I am so and so. But if you have really asked this question deep enough, and sit after asking this question, it will take you to the silence in your heart. Then you don't have to ask this question again. You stay in that silence. You pay attention to that silence within. Then in self-inquiry, this I would call is self-attention. You attend to this self now. When you attend to this self deliberately long enough, you are in self-abidance. Long enough means that this interaction between thoughts and this ego I has disappeared. So you are in your natural state, Sahaj Samadhi. Now I need to tell you, even when you are in Sahaj Samadhi, you are not interacting. A thought can still come, but now you have superseded, you have transcended these thoughts. There is no one which is interacting now, no one interested in it. Why? Because you are in supreme bliss all the time. Why you want to disturb your bliss by all these crazy thoughts? Now you know they are all crazy. They don't serve any purpose except keeping you in bondage. And thoughts know our conditioning. Type of thoughts we get are the ones which we are really interested in. So vigilance is needed, attention is needed. For some people, it is much easier who have less interest in this worldly life. For them, this illusion is like a smoke. But for others, they are all over the place. They have spread their kingdom of mind everywhere. For them to move out is a task. It takes long. moving in this worldly life and establishing in self, they are exactly opposite. Your body can do actions, you would be performing whatever you do in life. That is not an obstacle. Obstacle is your interest, your passion about things. That keeps you interested in the worldly life as an ego, as a person. That is the problem. So sometimes people who are loving their life, who have multiple interests, freedom is very difficult for them. And the people who have tasted suffering, they know the impermanence. They know whatever their loving life, it is going to end soon. And then what? Whatever the reason, to know the self, I call it grace only. Whether it comes from your inquisitiveness or suffering or interest. Because I have seen so many people have a lot of suffering, but they still cling to this worldly life so much. Not everyone learns lessons from this life. So if we have understood that there is something eternal and permanent in us, and if we know that, we can be free forever. And if we are convinced about this truth, this is the only truth we should be convinced about. If we are convinced about, then dispassion will happen. It has to happen. Then what is keeping your interest if you are convinced? Abiding in awareness, your interest in this worldly life will be equal to your dreams. You don't look back into anything. Whatever we see, actions happening around us, this whole world, understand, if you know the essence behind it, Brahman awareness, then it becomes all blessed by that awareness. Then it never bites you. But you take out the godliness from it, and then you keep doing what you're doing. Then it is full of suffering, full of ego, individual. Then we become very small, size of a human being from infinite awareness. And that is bondage. Allow yourself to float in this pure awareness. Be in the fragrance of this awareness. See how one body interacts with other, how things move, how everything is just unfolding in this awareness. No one to blame, nothing to claim. Things just happens. When this individual I in us disappears, then we manifest in everyone. Then one becomes many and many becomes one. It is a paradox. You want to give out your own I, but then the moment you give out your own I, you become everyone's. That essence in you, which now you recognize, you realize that you are in everything. You are that. It is your dream, your projection. You are the source. Nothing external to you. As ego, we think we are separate from others. So there is competition, there is fear, there is jealousy, there is pride, there is self-pity. All this comes because we think we are this body and then there is other. In reality, there is no other. And there is no me. All is one. Everyone should experience this truth in this body. More people experience this truth in this body, more peace on earth. All divisions which we see are because of ego. Pay attention to the pure silence within, uncreated silence. In every pursuit in this life, I always thinks, what will I gain in it? What will I get in it? I have to tell you, in this pursuit you will lose everything. And if you are ready, then come. Because people always want, I'm not getting bliss, I'm not seeing any God, I'm still worried about my mortgage. You know, this I never goes. Understand, this pursuit has nothing to gain. It is all about losing everything. Losing that I also. the one who is always worried. Understand this loss is our gain. Loss of this illusion, illusory appearance of everything. In our dream, in our perception, we have to wake up, not others. It is our dream. When we are dreaming, who wakes up when the dream ends? People in the dream wakes up or we wake up? Know this simple truth. All our life is so symbolic. Every day we have dream that tells us something. Don't try to get into dream and which wave is there in the brain, and that's what we all do, neuroscientists. But we can't reach truth by that. Truth is more simple than this. Have a panoramic view of everything, how things are manifesting. How peaceful we are in our deep sleep. Same if we can attain in waking, Jagrat Sushupti, waking deep sleep. We are the silence in this body. We are not the mind. We are not the body. We are not this intellect. This all is part of matter. We are beyond this all matter. Matter always changes. It is impermanent. It will become dust one day. Even mind is a matter. Mind can be perceived. All thoughts can be recorded. Thoughts can be traced from your brain. But that essence cannot be perceived on instruments, on objects. We are not a thing. Stay as awareness all the time. Be firm in this practice. Even when thoughts are coming to you, full of I-ness in it, just watch it. Don't be an accomplice to it. Give up ownership of this I. Be firm in your conviction that I am pure awareness. Just visiting in this body. Awareness is not old or young. It is unborn. Seeing this body, don't guess your age. You're ageless. Hold on to awareness. Awareness is the key. Without awareness, there is no perception of anything. We are that awareness. This awareness is very different from I thought. I thought interacts. It has a role to play. That's what it feels. It is fulfilling a journey. It has prarabdha karma, which it is sorting out. It is carrying so much of baggage from past, worried about future. We are not that. No one is that. Only some people believe they are that. Satsang is to deconstruct that wrong belief. Know that you are the source. Abide in the silence of self. When all the activities around us are impregnated with this silence, which now you realize, you bless everything. Everything becomes divine and sacred. And we get connected with everything in a different way now. There is no otherness. Now we know the thread which binds us all together as one. Everything is happening in awareness. This energy of awareness is allowing everything to happen. We are that awareness in body, around body, in everything. As the I thought ego dissolves, we start manifesting in everything around us. There is nothing inanimate. Everything is impregnated by that awareness. Everything, everywhere, all the time. We only need eyes of wisdom to identify this awareness. These eyes, which are looking outward, interested in thousands of things, with dispassion, when you start looking within, then you start noticing power of awareness. Enjoy the bliss of your own knowing. There is nothing superior to it, nothing after it, nothing more to discover, nothing more blissful than this, nothing more sacred or divine than this. You are the most sacred thing. Divinity resides in all of us in our heart. Only thing needed is to pay attention there. Our attention opens this door and makes us free forever. I heard a Sufi story long time ago about a man who wanted to know God, and he told his servant that I am going out, you take care of the home, and I am in search of God. And he went around and tried to search a teacher. At the end, he realized that the servant in his house was the best teacher. He surrendered and he was just enjoying as a servant, living with him. I take this story more as a symbolic. We have made this awareness a servant. We don't even pay attention to it. We keep looking outwardly in pilgrimage, in statues, in pictures, in mantras, and everything. The real Guru is sitting in us, in our home, in our heart. Come back here. Leave everything. We have made mind as our boss and awareness as servant. Einstein said the same thing, that this word gives importance to mind so much that it is now boss in this world. And this intuitive pure awareness, nobody bothers about it. We all think mind has given us so much. So we follow all these thoughts, selfish thoughts, greedy thoughts. Sometimes these thoughts are also good to help others. But in that also there is ego, that I am helping others. I am doing good work. The I stays. even when we do good work. Ego survives all actions. It goes away only when you pay attention within. Then it disappears. People who pray only pray to know the self. In your prayer, only wish that you merge in divine pure self. And no trace of individuality is left. Yoga means union. This is Maha-yoga. No duality. May we all know this truth. May the light of lights shines in our heart. May we all move from ignorance to bliss. May we all attain immortality. May we all become one. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.